Welcome back to The Dash. This is Massive Action Mondays, episode 19, sponsored by your credit coach and Chad Murray. I'm excited today to talk about time and the goals that we make for our life and how to really kind of set things a little bit more specific. We talk about being consistent today, managing your activities, and how tomorrow does not exist. All we have is today. Doing something right now to get us forward in the direction that we go. Find out more information on tregammage.com/podcast, and also don't forget to check out Shift Community. This thing is starting to grow legs. We're getting a lot of people involved. So if you're in South Carolina, North Carolina, specifically in the Hartsville, Darlington County, Florence County area, go ahead and send me a message and register for this event. It's something that you don't want to miss. Stay tuned and enjoy this episode. This is The Dash. Yeah, you got it, man. You hit on the daily decisions and whatnot like that. I call life the dash. That's what my podcast is called. Thank you for sponsoring Massive Action Mondays on the Dash podcast, because that's what it's all about. You know, life is between the day you're born and the day you die. What you have is that dash in the middle. You know, that's where your life is made. That's where it's created. That's where every decision that you make counts. And the more focused your decisions are, the more specific your goals are, the more specific your result will be. And it might start very wide. 2 or 3 years ago, when I realized that I wanted to be a speaker and I wanted to impact people, I didn't know where to start. It was huge where I wanted to be. But over time, I've slowly crept in to narrow down my focus to the dash and the facilitating purpose, and really focused on what I have. So that consistency is absolutely a key.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And, that's the number one thing. So, guys, and what we're going to do, like I said before, and, again, this is Chad Murray here coming to you live, and I'm here with Tre Gammage. And if you want to reach out to me and get more connected to me, you can find me at www.yourcreditcoach. You can also find me every Thursday at 7:30 live on my page where I talk about real estate. Now, these mornings, we're talking about getting this week going. Whatever's standing in your way or whatever's standing on the path of your glory, that's what we're going to talk about, how to maximize how you get there. Massive Action Monday, that's what it's all about.
For sure.
The number one thing that we're focusing on today is that consistency. Why don't you take it away, Tre? What do you think is another thing that we need to hone in on this week?
I think that's specificity. I've got an event coming up on May 20th. It's Shift Community. So we're working on getting about 20 vendors to come. The goal is to have about 200 people out there. So, for me, it's been a difficult process and a long process hosting an event. There's a lot more that goes into it than I thought. And to be honest with you, it's been disheartening for a lot of the times, because there's never you're never done, I guess would be the better way to put it. No, when you wake up every day, you're not getting everything done, but it's how much can I do today to chip away at this problem and be consistent. Just like exercising. If I go to the gym, if I'm overweight and I want to look better, I can't go to the gym one day for an hour. I heard in the sermon yesterday, when you go to the gym and you work hard, it feels worse the next day. You don't feel better the next day. You feel worse because you just worked yourself out. So being able to stay consistent, that's when you'll see results. That's the important thing, being consistent every day, setting up your goals and your successes.
Yeah, awesome. And Yolanda just made a powerful point. And it's very important that you do celebrate the small wins inside of your consistency, right?
Yeah.
Because really and truly, if you're just setting the bar at the one goal and that's it, like Tre just mentioned, we're up to a lot of projects, we're up to some things in our lives that are going to be pretty daunting because the work's not going to be done. And if you wait to celebrate yourself when you finally get your big payoff, and you wait to see that as the measure of your success, what's going to be the thing that's fueling your motivation? What's going to be the thing that's fueling that momentum?
Right.
And being able to stop and really take pause and realize that, look, I'm not at the finish line yet, but I've come a far way. I've come a long way. And that's all we're asking. We want you to put down your goals, because we're all going to be holding each other accountable this week. Right?
Yeah.
So put down, I'm in. Right? So put down, I'm in, and then put down just one of your big goals that you're up to this week. So we're going to go ahead and check up on you, and we're going to actually hold all of each other accountable. So I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna jump out first, right? So for me, my big goal for this week is finalizing my email marketing campaign for my credit business. So I have already 20 pre-done emails, but I need to like get other emails done. So Trey, I need you and I need everyone out there.
Oh yeah.
Getting 10 more automated emails done, so I can put it into my system so that that part of my business is to bed. I won't have to actually revisit that
right
for days.
right
That's awesome because the things that we do today have residual effects, right?
Yes, indeed. I mean, that's so powerful too. I mean, going from consistency, I think that leads us right into point number 2 in managing your activities. I was listening to Bob Proctor the other day, and he said that, or actually it was Earl Nightingale who he quoted, and he's talking about how you can't manage time. We wake up and try to manage time. You can't manage time. There's 24 hours in a day, and you don't know how much time you have left. So you don't manage the time that you have. You can manage your activities, though. You know, the same way we can't control the weather, and we can't control anything outside of ourselves. What you can manage is your activities. So if that's your goal, you know, a way to be consistent on writing 10 emails for your campaign, well, how about 2 a day for 5 days? You know, there's your 10. Though that can be 30 minutes of activity blocked out to write 1 email today in the morning, 1 before bed, and then you're being consistent and you're putting together your stuff all the time. And that's an activity that when you really break it down, how long does it take you to write an email, Chad?
Well, it's going to take me about 30 minutes at least for each one.
Mm-hmm.
I have to write it, and then I have to upload it to the system, and I have to do all of the little technical details that
Right.
I'm just really learning about, but I'm committed to. So it doesn't look
There you go.
this, but you know, my goal is this time next year to be significantly further off than I am right now inside of the technology in my business. And if from where I've come a year from now, it's been amazing.
Oh yeah.
Landing pages and learning how to improve different aspects of my website. I can't do a website, but you know, those things have been so empowering because before where I was just, what do? I need help. Now it's like, I might not be great,
but you know what you're doing.
Right.
And that's that consistency. I mean, we mentioned, I believe, in the first Massive Action Monday, it used to take me about 10 hours to play around and fiddle with a podcast episode, whereas, you know, today it'll take 15 minutes or 20 minutes to edit an episode in terms of the audio quality. But that was the consistency and chipping away at it time over time over time. So in managing your activities, and we talked about 90-day goals too, you know, breaking down that 90-day goal smaller. I also do a weekly review on those. I'll set a 30-day benchmark and then do each week I review where I've been at on my steps. So when we talk about managing activities too, how about setting time frames to do the work? Emails, how about an hour and a half? I call that a jam session. That's from Insane Productivity and Darren Hardy. Getting a jam session, hour and a half of cutting everything off. I don't want to hear any music. I don't want to be on Facebook. My phone is in the other room. I'm focused on my task at hand right here, right now. And for this next 90 minutes, 80 minutes, 45 minutes, I'm focused on nothing but writing this email script. I'm focused on nothing but promoting this event. I'm focused on nothing but my number one task at hand. And when you're done with that activity, you can move on to the next time frame and decide what you can do. That works at work. You know, most people at work are not at all productive. They say the top CEOs in the world, the Fortune 100 CEOs, the Fortune 500 CEOs are only productive for 28 minutes a day.
That's crazy.
28 minutes a day. So if you can focus your time for 30 minutes, if you can set a timer for 30 minutes and not get distracted, because that's what we think about multitasking. You can't multitask. That's not the truth. The truth is, you don't multitask, you focus on an activity, the one activity that's the most important for that time, and then to be able to go forward from there.
That's so powerful, man. And that's, you know, and I think this is like, I'm going to just break off for a second, but I think that this is a metaphor of what it looks like to serve, right? Because right now we're doing, and we're hoping that we can empower and inspire 1 or 2 people every single morning to do that they weren't going to do without getting this extra push.
For sure.
If us talking right now, you just dropped something with this jam session, and it brought back the idea of like blocking out time to get things done.
Yeah.
And man, I could really use a lot of help. And I don't know if anyone out there that's like me, But having that concentrated time for an hour and a half, I think would do me a world of good. And you just breaking it down for me, that's something for me to aspire to this week. Work on things inside the jam sessions to get some major things done.
It's so much more beneficial. I mean, I struggle multitasking now. I'm 24 years old now. I keep telling people I'm getting old because technology isn't making sense for me anymore. Because I only want to focus on one thing at a time. And even if I only have 30 minutes, I'll set a jam session for 30 minutes or 15. I got up this morning and did my meditation. I did 20 minutes to write in my journal and to sit and kind of contemplate and meditate. But those time frames, I'll catch myself on ESPN.com, NFL, scrolling through Facebook when I should be working. But then I set a timer on my computer for an hour on 28 minutes. And as soon as I press that timer, my brain just kind of flips into a mode, and it's like a challenge. How much can I get done in this time frame? How much of my task can I knock down? I don't even know where to start. I'm just going to set the timer, and I'm going to start at 0 and try to work as long as I can. And when that timer goes up, I'm done. I'm leaving it.
He said he's getting old at 24. Wow, that's hilarious. That's great. What would you do if you were 24 again, Yolanda? I don't know. I could tell you, if I was 24 again, man, oh my goodness. I remember when I was 24. I think that's when that was when I was really, really getting it going in mortgages, and I was driving a CLS Mercedes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like probably like almost a year before it came out.
Okay.
My mindset was just like, you're over here empowering people. My mindset was just how can I make the next, $10,000? What I realized is that if I'd maintained, and I'm not even gonna go too far.
Go ahead. This might be more valuable. Go ahead.
Okay, so I think that it's important that we actually work on finding a purpose. And you talk about this all the time. And Yolanda, right? Yolanda, she's a purpose coach. And it's important that you find your purpose, because once you find your purpose, you don't have to have it all together.
Nah.
Serve, right? Because and it actually ties in. You find your purpose and you start to serve. And while you're serving, you come across little gems like jam sessions and blocking time to your goals, so that even though you might be looking at this purpose in the sense of, oh my gosh, I have to do all of these things for all of these people, you give without really thinking, really being concerned with the money or the success right now, and you're going to find yourself with the tools that are just going to take you step by step closer to exactly what you want and exactly where you want to be, and building the person who you see yourself as. And I think that's like the real glory and power of being willing to serve inside of your purpose and having time frames that will help you goals every single day.
Yeah, for sure. When you're ready, your teacher will appear. My favorite scripture in the Bible is that you have only to be still and the Lord will fight for you. I think that means to work right where you are at. Sit down and work on your diligence. All the W questions. What? Why? Those are the two important. What are you willing to suffer for? Why? What is your reason for doing this? Why are you waking up every day? And then you can get into the who's and where's, but how is none of your business. Money is not your biggest problem. Time is not your biggest problem. How many mistakes you made is not the biggest problem. Stop using those stories. Those are lies. Those are not true. Those are absolutely felonious. I like that word. Felonious. It's a felon. It's a felonious thought. It's an absolutely wrong train of thought. Time should be the last. When it goes to what your problems are and why you can't do something, it should not be, you should not say, I don't know how. It should not be, I don't have enough time. It should not be, I made too many mistakes. Those don't exist. Those aren't real. And even in that can take us to point number 3, where tomorrow does not exist. That's one of the most important concepts that I've thought, because how many times are you going to start your diet tomorrow? Or next year is going to be the new year, or I'm going to wake up on time tomorrow. No, it's not going to happen tomorrow. That doesn't exist. Every time you wake up in the morning, it's today. And that's it. You're not guaranteed any tomorrow. Yesterday, you can't go back and change. Go ahead and leave that where it's at. Tomorrow, you can plan for the future, but you have to live right now. And that's what's the most important time frame is now. What can I plan to do today? Don't put off anything until tomorrow that can be done today.
Awesome. And you never know, your teacher might appear and you just might be 24.
Well, and teachers are in everything, man.
Yeah, awesome. For real. But we had some awesome comments from Janelle Villiers. She said, "This sounds like the message from the book, The Slight Edge."
Beautiful book.
You read that book?
Yeah, I may have quoted it. It's been a while since I've read it, but Jeff Olson, The Slight Edge, probably need to get a tag on that. But that's one of the first books that I read that really put me on a path to purpose. Probably when I was a young cat, when I was about 17, 7 years ago. But no, Jeff, that's a great one, The Slight Edge. And that's something that we may need to start doing too, Chad, is offering these books. I know everybody doesn't like to read per se, but audio books, I go on YouTube a lot of times when I'm driving. I'll just put an audio book on, cassette tapes, books. There's so many of them that are impactful. Because your teachers and your mentors, the people that, if I have access, Tony Robbins is my coach. I can't afford to pay him $1 million a year, but I can afford to buy a cassette tape, 21 disc CD set, and listen to him all day. And I can afford to go on YouTube and listen to Jim Rohn. I can afford to listen to Darren. I can afford to have them be my mentors in a much smaller capacity. And it's true. Your brain does not know the difference between me and you talking right here and me reading this book or listening to somebody else. I'm accepting the information the same way, and your brain doesn't know the difference between thought and action. And that's why it's so important to have those together.
Yeah, for real. Absolutely, bro. And Lamonia Williams, hey, Lamonia, good morning. So she said, sometimes you're 2 steps away from our goal, but just a little more focus and consistency, we will see results.
Amen. Amen.
Right.
That's it. That's it.
That's powerful right there.
I think a great point there, it's hard to see the picture inside the frame. You know, when you're working and you're being diligent and you're doing your work, you're probably not going to see the results for a while. But they are manifesting. The seeds, they have to be planted. And then when it's time to harvest, I believe it's harvest time right now. It's time to reap the benefits of all the seeds that have been sowed. And that's when it's time to work harder. So planting those seeds daily, consistently, over time, managing activities. And then when it's time to go up, now it's time to work harder. Now it's time to have 2 episodes a week. Now it's time to have 30 emails on my list. Now it's time to work a little bit harder for what I've got and what's coming for me. I like that.
Awesome. Yeah, well, I know that we have you on a tight time frame from here.
Yes, sir.
To say thank you to everyone that's commented so far. Yolanda said obviously he surrounded himself with people with right minds because distractions come hidden behind friends.
Ooh.
Convictions, your passions, and convenience don't live on the same block.
Wow, that's deep. That's profound right there. I like that, Yolanda. We need to put that in some block quotes or something to get that posted online. I like that one. And you know, Chad, we did mention before we started too, you know, everybody that's listening or has listened, I challenge you to let us know, comment on this post and say what some of your goals are so we can check up on you this week and next week. I remember we've got someone reaching out to 100 people, impacting 100 families. So we want to keep checking in on folks and making sure that we're all progressing. You know, the like-minded people, the same way here, we're all working together. And even if you don't share with myself or you don't share with Chad, share it with your friends. Share the post. Tell your friends what your goals are for this week. Tell them how you're going to manage your time better. Because when you do tell it, when you do say it out loud, and you get it off your chest and you verbalize it, that's when it becomes real. That's when it manifests. So don't be scared of those goals. Don't be scared of how far away you are from it, because you've already come a long way to get to the point you are right now. So that's important.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, brother. And why don't you take us away with the last point before the final points on the last point, and get this Monday started.
With the tomorrow doesn't exist. We had all 3 of them. You know, consistency, waking up every day and being specific about what you want to do, not rushing, but diligent in your work and your desires. You know, number 2, managing that activities. You can't manage your time. We have 24 hours in a day, and that doesn't change. You can manage what you're doing with those through your jam sessions, through breaking down the times and being specific on the goals. And then the third thing is time doesn't exist, or tomorrow doesn't exist. Excuse me. Tomorrow doesn't come. It doesn't exist. Every day you wake up is today. And yesterday you can't get back either. So everything that has happened in your past, everything that you've been through.
Tomorrow it just doesn't.
Tomorrow doesn't exist. That's a good one. Yeah, yesterday, everything that you've been through in your past has brought you to where you are right now. So, that's the fuel that you can use to take advantage of right now, because you know what you've been through and how hard that it's been at this point. So take advantage of the moment, man. This time is all we have. If you die today, if your dash is over today, so I could take out death. If your dash was over today, what would your tombstone read, or what would happen in your life? The graveyard is the most wealthy place on the planet. That's where your lost dreams, ambitions, goals, all those things are right there in the graveyard. Don't take yours to the grave with you. Use them up. You only get one life and one day.
There you go. All right, everybody. And on that note, please share this post. Please like it and love it, and send to anybody that you feel like needs that little push, that little on this Monday morning. We're here every single Monday morning. We did it a bit early this Monday, but I don't know, bro. We might have to revisit the 7 o'clock time.
Hey, I'm about it. And we got people up with us, too. I didn't think a lot of people were going to be up, but everybody's up. We're all working.
Leah's in the house. We have Yolanda. We have Marsha. See, we have a couple other people coming on. Some shy people who don't want to say hey. Don't want to see their goals yet. No, but yes, if you do have any goals, remember to leave it in the comments. We're going to check up on you in your messages and just let you know that we're here to support you in any way that we can. We're going to, keep on doing this every single week. So, any parting words, my brother?
I like it. This is the Dash. Thank you to your credit coach. If you're in South Carolina, come on out to Shift Community on May 20th. We've got about 20 businesses, a lot of minority businesses at the Butler Heritage Community Center. We're looking to go and kind of activate and mobilize the community and make sure that we're thriving in this world. So I'm excited. This is my first big event that I'm throwing, or hosting, I guess I should say, donating proceeds to Living Out Loud, a nonprofit organization, and helping some students on their first field trip. 5th grade, they've never been on a field trip. They're going to medieval times, so we're going to help and purchase their T-shirts for the trip.
My night one, when we went to medieval times, my night one.
That's a good deal. I'm about to go, and so now it's time to keep on trucking. It's Monday. We've done talked about the action, but talking about it don't do anything. It's time to go take that action. So let's go ahead and get at it. Action, action, action. It's literally about massive action. Every day, doing something to progress towards your dreams, to progress towards your goals and your worthy ideals. Please leave a comment. Tell your friends. If you don't share with us, share it with someone that you're closest with, and have somebody to hold you accountable. That's what a coach is for. When you talk about paying a coach to work with you, if you talk about going to talk to your friends, or whatever the case is, it's about accountability. And we have someone else that knows what our goals and ambitions are. They can help keep us accountable. Thank you for listening today, and I please hope you share with your friends and let us know what you think. We're curious about ways that we can improve this show and continue to improve and add value for you. So let us know what you think, tell your friends, and come back on Friday for a great episode with James Turner, account executive with Microsoft. He does Bing ads. So I'm excited to talk with him and how failing got him started. We'll see you on Friday. This is The Dash.